The science of that washing machine proves the globe model is absurd.
You have received a new WhatsApp message.
Oh, this is going to be a good video.
Go nuts on my nuts.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Playing a Blinder with me, the Creaky Blinder, Daniel Pratt. Washing machines prove that the earth is flat. Now even the semi-intelligent, people like me, would like to think he's joking. But he's not. Why is there always such a long pause before Dan starts speaking in every single one of his videos? It's almost as if he didn't realise he'd pressed record. You do know you can edit that out, Mr. Pratt, don't you? You'd never catch me doing something that careless in the editing of my videos.
Alright folks, I'm going to try in common sense, factual terms to explain to you again why the globe is an absurd, mathematical fantasy world.
Well, you can common sense me as much as you like, Dan, with factual terms or any other terms. But before you do start common sensing me, which sounds quite painful, ask yourself this question: whose world is more fantastical? Flat earthers like you who struggle to prove, well, anything about the world they think they live in, or people like me, normal. No, maybe normal isn't a very good word for me. People like me who are more than prepared to accept the reality around us.
Because time is running out.
Oh, please no, not time running out. There's so many things I still haven't done. Like hit 50,000 subscribers.
We are being, once again, pseudoscienced into world conditions that are not conducive to a free society.
Well, yeah, and I'm quite sure that flat earthers like you are pseudosciencing the pants off everything they discover. But us normies, us stupid globe-tards, all we've got to go on is real, observable reality.
A civilized society, an advanced society, an intelligent society.
A civilized society, an advanced society, and an intelligent society. So your idea of how to prove that the earth is flat is to create a society where flat earthers and other woo peddlers wouldn't exist.
A critically thinking society.
Critically thinking? Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Because, Danielle, I think that society where flat earthers and other woo peddlers fit in perfectly already exists. It's called BitChute. Nice impression of a squirrel, but can we stay on task, please?
This entire world is anything but they've got you all convinced that that's exactly what you are, and you're so liberal, so evolved, so above it all.
Above being a flat earther? Yes, I am.
When you are just, they have literally baffled the majority of the world with BS.
Well, I literally never thought I would hear the day a flat earther said the world was baffled by BS. I need a Pepsi. I just can't concentrate anymore. I can't work under these conditions. This is just really stupid. And see, he's even made me nearly fall up my own stairs. I know the stairs are there. How could I be falling over things I know are there? I'm starting to lose my patience with you, Dan Pratt.
Baffle them with BS and a smile, and they'll do whatever you want them to do.
A smile like that?
You know, it's funny, my washing machine is running so often when I do videos.
Oh, well, at least that explains why you always have the same t-shirt on in every single video you've ever uploaded. It's because the rest of them are all in the washing machine that's always running.
The science of that washing machine proves the globe model is absurd.
And here we go. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Because Daniel Pratt is about to prove us all wrong using the spin cycle of his washing machine.
Once again, manufacturing science all day, every day proves that independent of radius, in other words, it doesn't matter the radius you are spinning. What matters is the linear velocity equivalent, the miles per hour.
Cool story, bro.
Why is it measured in linear velocity? Because when that washing machine fills up with water to rinse the soap out of the clothes, it then has to kick into the spin cycle. And what happens? Why is the washing machine drum full of holes? Because as it spins, it flings the water off on a tangent, a linear tangent. It does not maintain or conserve angular momentum.
Let's assume then that the drum of a washing machine spins at 600 mile an hour. So why is it when you're on an aeroplane traveling at 600 mile per hour with a cup of water on the little flip down table in front of you that the water isn't flying everywhere?
It flings it off and converts it into linear momentum.
No, angular and linear momentum cannot be converted between each other. Linear momentum is not conserved when there is an external force working against it. Angular momentum, though, is conserved because there is no external torque acting against it.
As it flings it off, it's continually losing that momentum. It does not maintain that velocity due to the air pressure it's experiencing as it goes through the air.
Yeah, that's what I was just trying to explain, I think. But you still can't convert angular and linear momentum between each other.
The friction of the air pressure. This is the same with bullets. This is why they drop, because the bullets are heavier than the air they're traveling through. They're experiencing resistance from the air they're traveling through, so which continually slows it down the farther from the source that flung it off or shot it. The farther away it gets, the more it's continuously losing that momentum, and because it's heavier than the air, it will eventually drop.
Oh, you were doing so well then, Dan. You were kind of right. Yeah, a bullet does slow down over distance because the momentum that a bullet experiences is linear momentum. And as I said earlier on, linear momentum can't be conserved because of external forces acting upon it. So once the bullet runs out of momentum, which it will over a given distance, that's where you went wrong. It doesn't drop because the bullet's heavier than air, it drops because gravity is acting upon it.
Until it finds an equilibrium, the ground, a mass denser than it, so it can't fall through it any longer. This is why, again, continually flat earthers say density and buoyancy are what make up the gravity.
Don't ever say the gravity again. You're making yourself sound like an old person trying to navigate their way around social media. Like my mother calls it, the Facebook and the YouTube and the Twitter. Just don't do it, Dan. You're making yourself sound even more stupid than you already do. But allow me to ask you a question that has been asked a million times. Why does the bullet not fall up? Or to the left or to the right? If gravity isn't the force acting upon the bullet, causing it to drop, how does it know which direction is the drop?
So you take, again, we'll say, take a helium balloon. You're not putting any magic spell on the helium balloon to make it suddenly rise up.
That's right. There's no magic involved at all. Oddly enough, all you do with a helium balloon is put helium in it. And helium is lighter than air. And just like an empty bottle displaces an amount of water, as long as the weight of the helium plus the fabric that the balloon is made of is lighter than the air it displaces, the balloon will float upwards.
And if you want to say buoyancy isn't a force, then get a helium balloon, put a scale upside down above it, and a sensitive enough scale, and you'll get a measurement. That, by definition, is force.
Now, unlike Daniel Pratt, I am more than happy to admit that I am no expert when it comes to force, apart from in the context of Star Wars, because I am practically a Jedi Knight. So I've googled this to make sure the information I'm giving you is as accurate as this guy can make it. And so far, I'm not seeing anything about a helium balloon and an upside down weighing scale, sensitive or otherwise. But what I have found is this. In physics, a force is an interaction that when opposed will change the motion of an object. A force can cause an object with a mass to change its velocity, which includes to begin moving from a state of rest. to accelerate. A force has both magnitude and direction, making it a vector quantity. So yeah, there was definitely no mention of helium balloons or upside down weighing scales. Sorry. Not sorry.
Pressure.
Dan, I know exactly what you mean. Don't talk to me about pressure. Trying to find videos to make videos about, trying to make sure that all the information I share is as accurate as I can make it. It's really starting to get to me.
That's the supposed force of gravity that when we step on the scale is supposedly, but if we were full of helium.
My bad, I think we may be talking about two different kinds of pressure.
So, helium exists here on Earth. It is a tangible, quantifiable, we can contain it in a balloon and then watch the result. The balloon goes the opposite of what they're telling us the force of gravity should make it. That when I just blow into it, exhale my carbon monoxide and blow into it and let it go, it's going to drop.
Yeah, and that's because, Dan, when you fill a balloon with your own breath...
Because the buoyancy is determining the force between...
Bit rude interrupting. Fine, I didn't want to explain it to you anyway, so carry on.
The balloon I blew up and the balloon I filled contained helium inside.
Now can I explain, or are you going to interrupt me again? The reason a normal breath-filled balloon, as you called it, doesn't float like a helium balloon is because the weight of the air that it displaces is just a little bit less than the weight of the balloon. And that's because it's filled with your own breath, and the weight of the rubber of that balloon is just a little bit more dense than the air, so it can't travel upwards in the same way a helium balloon could, because as I said earlier, helium is lighter than air.
Helium is not a magical entity we had to bring into nature to make that happen.
No, helium isn't a magical thing. It's a chemical compound, and the atomic number of it is 2, for anyone that's interested. I'm really not that interested, but I thought it would make me sound smart if I said it. And it's an inert gas, which is the lightest member of the noble gas family, which accounts for its ability to float upward.
But again, in order to create their globe explanation, they have to bring in something that doesn't exist anywhere in nature that they can prove. That's called a vacuum.
Well, I think Hubert Cecil Booth may have something to say about that, Mr. Pratt, because he actually invented the first vacuum. We are talking about vacuum cleaners, right? Imagine how dusty our carpets would be without them. I don't see what it's got to do with the shape of the Earth, but yeah.
A vacuum exists nowhere in nature. They are all man-made, and the materials they have to use to make these vacuums should awaken people to the fact that there is no equivalent of said to contain Earth from the infinite vacuum containing our atmosphere from equalizing into that vacuum.
Ah, silly me. He's talking about the vacuum of space, which a lot of flat earthers think isn't a thing because you can't have a pressurized system without a sealed container.
That the Earth's atmosphere would, science tells us, would desperately be trying to equalize into that vacuum. Not that the vacuum sucks, that the oxygen would want to fill that void.
Unless it was contained.
Well, fortunately for us, there's this thing. What's it called?
Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
That's right, gravity, which stops the Earth's atmosphere from escaping.
So, every time they have to account for something, they say, yeah, but in a vacuum that once again doesn't exist anywhere in nature, they have to create a false atmospheric situation or lack thereof.
Now, I don't want to be mean, but Dan, you need to shut up, good boy. Because a flat earther is the last person who should be accusing other people of making things up to suit their own narrative.
that doesn't exist anywhere, that nobody here has ever experienced.
So, pretty much like every flat earther ever. We're still waiting for tangible proof of the dome. Any evidence of that? The fact that you say the earth is flat? Any photographic evidence? Any measurements to support it? No, I didn't think so. So please, do not say that normal people, sorry, that stupid globetards make things up to suit their narrative. The thing is, we don't need to make anything up, because what we understand about the world we live in is all true. And we can be confident that it's true because we can demonstrate it.
Well, I'm not an idiot.
Clearly.
Let's no, because the nebula and dark matter and black holes, we found a new dwarf star, but Saturn, telescopes, equatorial mount.
Thanks for watching, guys. If it is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss an upload. I'm the Creaky Blinder, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.